I
get
think
this thing
we're.
right.
If we
So,
weren't live before, we are live now. We are
well,
live.
we're just gonna act like we don't know what's going on. But
That's more fun for everybody.
I
Just to
think I, I think everyone knows what's going on right now.
Blake, let's
Wow.
start with this a question. With the question, who's elite?
Yeah. I I don't even know what to say right now.
Our
So
Arkansas fans, we're doing this for you. It's a special night. We're here to celebrate with you. My goodness, what a game! What a ball game that was.
that was wild because I said going like throughout, I'm thinking this is like one of those games where like every single possession just felt so important for
Yes.
Arkansas. And I mean, the reason why is pretty simple, right? It's because we said going into this game, we said, hey, like you've got to almost play a perfect game here, and you've got to execute your game plan to near perfection. And I thought for the most part, Arkansas did that. Like, I mean, now listen, were there some some questionable shots taken in this game? Yes,
Were there some
but
questionable calls? Yes.
well, I don't know if you saw it. I tweeted out, but I'm sure the people who are in here who did see it, I said this is being called like an SEC
Yes.
basketball game.
I did see that.
That's not good for anyone, but maybe it turned out okay for Arkansas. But yeah, I mean, it was man, I tell you, we said, look, you have to play. This can't be a game where they're going to be able to get up and down the floor and just make this
Oh my goodness, they controlled. I was thinking about
you
that.
know,
They never let that happen.
no.
They never let Gonzaga get a spurt in the second half.
Hey, by the way, real quick, flying blind. Our guy is in
Oh,
the
our
chat
guy
in the
flying.
Chase Center. He's in the center right now
Oh,
in the arena. He said he ripped his shirt off. So flying blind, you what
oh,
about that?
that's
Everyone, I don't know if you
awesome.
follow. Remember,
If
flying
if
blind did
there's
the
a
GoFundMe.
screenshot of that
There you go.
anywhere, that's a must-have. Like if that showed up somewhere on CBS.
That's great.
Oh,
Like
flying
that's
blind. We need pictures, man. I don't know if you can
that's
post them in
awesome.
the comment, but
Hey, he said he booked a flight to leave on Monday. He knew it was coming. So good call, flying blind.
I
Good
think he
call.
went with his dad. That is awesome. Those are
Uh,
the memories that make life as a sports fan worth it.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Like you said, to be there, that is fantastic. So, um, man, what a game. I mean, really. I mean, look, like we said, there. It's funny, Chris, because remember we asked the question. I said to you, maybe I was the one that asked the question. I said, who do you think the X factor is going to be in this game? You said JD Note. I came back and said Jalen Williams. Well, it turns out that both of those guys, I think, were pretty much the X factors here, and that's not to be unexpected. Again, given that those two guys, I think, really just fueled them. And look, we're going to talk about the other guys too, but Chris, the thing I said Jalen Williams has got to be on this floor 35 plus minutes. He plays 36. Like he only came out for a little bit of that stretch there, never got in foul trouble to enough. And let me just say this real quick, because I have a feeling there are going to be some people hopping in this chat who maybe aren't Arkansas fans. But this whole stuff about Jalen Williams, being a flopper and all this other stuff. Let me say this. Here's my quote, Chris. You can quote me on this. Put this in the quote, put it on the website. This can be our new tagline for the channel. Don't hate the player, hate the
Hate the
game.
game.
All right? It's
Yeah.
not Jalen Williams' fault that the rule is what it is. Okay? So if you want to pick apart anything, he's just doing what he should do.
Sure.
Like he's doing it the way he should do it, knowing that this is how you're supposed to do it in this current landscape, right? I know everyone doesn't like the charge thing and they don't like all this other stuff. Okay, but that's not on Jalen Williams. Like that's
No.
on the way the game is called and officiated and the way it's implemented. So don't give me any of that. I would take, and I tweeted this out during the game. I said I would take Jalen Williams on my team every single day of the week and twice on Sunday.
No doubt.
I mean, you remember the conversations we had about him as the season progressed. I just said this guy has become one of the best players in the SEC, and I think just so important what he did in this game on every level, like everything he did. Think about the big three he hits late in that game, and I know there was a missed call before that, but let me just tell you again, missed calls were not necessarily, unknown to this game because it's just, again, it's the officiating is a whole nother discussion on every single side. But he makes the big three. He gets 12 rebounds. I just, man, and those
Three,
charges.
three
were just
assists,
huge.
no turnovers. I mean, it was a typical Jalen Williams game. He goes 15 and 12. Played with 4 fouls. Helped foul out. I mean, we said the key to the game might be, like, if they're going to win, you got to get Chet Holmgren in foul trouble. Guess what? That was a factor all night, and that was as much Jalen Williams as it was anybody, probably.
Yeah. I mean,
JT Note would like a word here too, but
yes. Well, no, you're right. And I think it's, hey, okay, Jordan, I know you're coming in the chat here saying, aren't we the ones that doubted Arkansas? I don't know what you watched, bud, but we were not the ones that doubted Arkansas.
We went
Arkansas
30 minutes
9.
on the preview. Yes, you did. We said every reason
right now.
Yeah.
We're not bringing this in here. I'm sorry, we're not bringing this in the chat tonight. No nonsense.
Look, they were the prohibitive tournament favorite for a reason.
Yeah,
for a reason.
Look,
that's a great ball team that you just beat.
All right, Mike, you're joining on the discussion. I appreciate you guys, but if you didn't watch the preview for 36 minutes, I don't know what you saw. We did everything we said we could do to pull out the analysis on telling you why Arkansas could win this game and how it had to be played and what happened. There was a lot of things that happened that turned out just that way. I said everybody's going to be picking Gonzaga. Were they not? Yes, they were. But we said specifically, if you had to ask me, the Arkansas +9, I'm taking Arkansas +9. So you're getting me confused with another video, and we're not taking it tonight because you know what? The Must Bus, gassed up, the 0 bars, the corn nuts, I would say it's rolling right along to San Francisco, but it's already there and it's not going home. So there you go. That's
I should have brought my special new shirt for the haters.
There you go.
That say we didn't give them respect.
It is what it is.
I don't have it with me. We'll debut that another time. But what? Yeah, that's the rule. If you're going to criticize us watch the video first. Because that is decidedly not what happened. Did we say Gonzaga was going to win? That's what we thought would happen. Did we say Arkansas had no chance? Absolutely. And let's quit that stuff because this is a big night. We've got a huge Arkansas presence on our channel. They've been here for us all year, and that's why we did this. We got other stuff going on, but
we're gonna start ripping our shirts off here in a second, like flying blind. So, hey,
how
Jordan,
about Musselman at the end of that game? By the way,
just real quickly, Jordan, no issue. We're not pointing that necessarily towards you. We just want to make sure it's clear.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, I get it. There's been a lot of analysis about this game. Trust me, I understand. It's easy to get it confused sometimes. So we're not knocking you, my friend. I promise. But we want to make sure that's out there.
Yeah.
So yes, we tried to do it the best we could. Somebody's asking, what did it wind up being? +9 on the line. I don't really remember what the line wound up being.
Didn't we? I think we used Ken Pom.
We used
Ken Pom might have been
we
10.
Said, I don't remember.
I think it
was.
And
I said, hey, I would take the Arkansas on that one. But
yeah.
So I mean, that's again, we're having some fun here. But I mean, listen, guys, it was again. I said it too on Twitter after the game. I mean, you had to have a nearly flawless game plan to beat Gonzaga. And
their game plan was phenomenal.
Oh, it was. And let me just say that, you look at it here and we said, and this is not a knock on Gonzaga, but like we said, look, there are differences between this team and the team last year. And they're obvious. I mean, you just kind of looked at it. They're different teams, sort of how they're built. Yes, you've got the common denominators in Timmy and Nemhard, but just kind of a different team. And we said too, Chris, and I didn't know if there was anything to this. Because, again, think about it. I wasn't sure completely when we said, they had that stretch against Georgia State where they didn't look great.
Yeah.
They had that stretch against Memphis where they didn't look great. And, you're just kind of wondering, is that just something that happens sometimes in this tournament and then you get that reset, like we said, going from the weekend now to Thursday? Does that reset and kind of even out to where, all right, now you see what you have to do to get through this tournament? And, Did Gonzaga miss some shots they normally make? Yes, but again, I think.
But you know what? That
happened
to other SEC teams, and everybody said, "Oh, they're just not in it." No, that's basketball. Sometimes it's your night. Sometimes the other guy is not on their game as much. But that's basketball. And by the way, speaking of not on your game, okay, JD Note goes 9 for 29. Arkansas is 7 of 25 from 3-point. I thought Arkansas might have to pull an 11 for 24 night from 3 to win or something like that. They make 9 foul shots. Like a lot of the stuff offensively that you would have thought Arkansas would have needed to do to win this game did not happen, which to me makes that win more special.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was the free throw. Listen, man, we talked about it. We said, hey, I kind of joking about this
Gonzaga
game.
had 6 more points at the foul line.
Yeah, now that I will say for those who said it, I will tell you right now, I thought it would be very hard if Arkansas did not get to the free throw line a lot. I thought it would be a challenge, but again, I think that's where Arkansas's defense came into play here, to where you didn't get the Gonzaga that was making a ton of shots and getting a ton of easy shots.
But you know what? Arkansas took them out of their flow all night.
You had to be physical, right?
They were physical. They did not let them get out on the break. You can say that, and I know you're not saying that to detract from Arkansas. You're just pointing out it happened.
Oh yeah.
But that had a lot to do, I think, with the way they had him game planned.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why he's a phenomenal coach. I mean, let me point out one other thing before I forget it, and then I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm afraid if I don't get this out now, I will forget it. Or I might forget it before I even get it out.
That happens sometimes. If you're new to this stream, trust me, it happens. So there you go.
Well, give me a minute. This is so priceless.
By the way, there's a discussion going on right now in the chat about the referees, and I know everyone's on different sides, and I know there are people throwing shots, but listen, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. This is a bigger discussion in the state of college basketball officiating as a whole. And again, if you haven't watched a lot of SEC games this year and you watch this one tonight, which, I mean, Arkansas fans, they know exactly what I'm talking about, but I just like it, the officiating overall in the entire sport right now can be an issue. So I'm not going to throw any shade at anybody for what they think about that, because I think you can agree on that as a whole. Yeah. But was that the complete difference in this game? No. Sorry.
I've been sitting on something for 5 minutes, and I got the yips when it came time.
Well, I mean, it happens, right? So
it happens to the best of us, and it happens to me.
It does. It does. So look, we did this on the fly. We kind of said that, hey, we were going to do this live stream if this was how it played out, and turns out it's what happened. And I tell you. All right.
Okay. This is what I was just should be quiet before I forget. Okay. Here's what is interesting. Of the 4 elite teams in the league this year, they all kind of, I'm not going to say ran out of gas. I don't know if that's fair, but they all ran into a brick wall in the NCAA tournament, except for this one. What is interesting, I think, is we talked all year about how deep Tennessee was, how deep Kentucky was, how deep Auburn was. Arkansas was the least deep of these teams. 2 starters, and Moody and Williams, got in foul trouble, and they still pulled it off.
Yeah.
This like of all the makeup of the teams, you would think that this would be the team that, because we thought all those teams were fairly even at the end. Just that would have thought that in the matchups. My goodness, we didn't like their draw. I mean, nothing to do with Arkansas. We just thought this is a tough draw. Blake, they overcame all that.
Well, here's the thing too, and it is being pointed out in the chat. And I'm going to say this, and I know we haven't talked about him yet, but trust me, guys, we were getting there. Trey Wade, man, like, he was huge in this game. And we said, hey, we know Arkansas's rotation is 6 men, basically, right? I mean, and look, Likes comes in, and what does he do again, Chris? Like, Likes comes in.
2 foul shots.
The dagger. That's all he had to do in 4 minutes of play. That's all he had to do. But Trey Wade is the one that gets talked about the least, I think, of that group in the rotation, if you really think about it, because Jalen Williams, Tony, Amude, Note, Davis. But Trey Wade was
that's his best game in a couple of months. Yeah.
Oh, he was fantastic. And I think that you look at the big shots he hit, some of those threes were just huge. He gets 7 rebounds. Here's another part of this, and we were going to go all over the place here, just so everyone knows. Like, it's just, there's a lot to take away from this game. Arkansas only turning it over 8 times. Like, that's where
Wow.
we talk about, like,
That's the
valuing the
number one defensive
possessions.
team in the country they played,
Yeah, I mean,
statistically speaking.
valuing the possessions, like, man, it was just that's what you had to do. Again, it was about the value there, and knowing that that's what you would have to do to be able to win this game. And again, I know you can look at some of those shots. I know there was the one late that Note took from deep, but Chris, as I'm watching this game, I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm sure we have a different opinion maybe if it comes back to where they lose the game by 1 or 2, and you're thinking back like, oh, if we just had a couple of those possessions back. But kind of what I'm thinking is, I would still rather have my guy in JD Note taking 30 shots, in a game like this, knowing that your season's on the line, even if
Hey,
they're
look,
not
look,
all.
shots are not going to come easy against them. We pointed out, like,
Yeah,
even if you foul Chet Holmgren out,
yeah,
you still got Drew Timme to deal with.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that was the key, right? If we really think about it, like Holmgren just was. I mean,
He was
it's crazy.
neutralized. He
Well,
was.
but
I
think
mean,
about
from what, halfway through the first half on, because he was playing on his heels all night with foul trouble. Now, were some of those tough foul calls that went against him? Yeah, they were. I'm not saying necessarily bad calls, but tough calls. Maybe number 3 was that was kind of a tough one. I thought live it was an awful call. He did have his hand on the guy's back. I still don't think that's what I would have called.
Well, again,
but I mean, look,
that's
yeah. Look, that had nothing to do with who won the game. But
yeah. But it's crazy to think, isn't it? Like he still had 11 points and 14 rebounds. And it's like, it feels like he just was a non-factor, like at times. But it's just like, man, I mean, he still was able to rack up those kind of stats. But yeah, man, it was again, it had to be everyone. And that's kind of for Arkansas what it was, is it was everyone did a little bit of something. And that was what you had to have. I mean, really, I got to look this up, Chris. I mean, statistically for Gonzaga, I mean, I assume this has already been said, and we probably just haven't seen it at this point. But guys, I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but we got more people in here than we've ever had in these live chats.
The chat is going hog wild tonight.
We're trying to keep up with stuff, but there's only so much I can do right now with getting to some of your things. But I don't even know what I was going to say now. So something about Gonzaga offensively. Let me look this up real quick because they scored 68 in this game. What was their previous low? I mean, they beat Tarleton State and scored 64. So I'm looking at that. That was way back when. But, that game at St. Mary's, that's the one I was thinking of. The one against St. Mary's, right? Like that was the game at the end of the regular season where it was one of those games too where they just got taken out of the rhythm, and it was St. Mary's coming in and just kind of playing the game you had to play to beat them. And wasn't the exact same here, but man, I mean, it's just, look, guys, you talk about accomplishments. Holding this team to 68 points, I know that, on the surface may not sound, but again, if you've watched basketball and you know why this was the number 1 seed in the tournament, holding that team to 68 points and doing it the way that Arkansas did. And Chris, what did I say? And I probably have already said this, but I want to say it again. The whole point I made and all the radio shows, everything that we talked about that I did this week, I kept saying the same thing. I said Gonzaga is going to throw the haymaker at some point, right? Like they're going to step up and they're going to just wind back and they are going to hit you with a 10-0
never let it
run.
happen. They never let it happen.
Never happened, not one time. And that was just the difference to me, is that run that you kept thinking may come never came.
They didn't lead in the second half, did they? I mean, Arkansas took a lead what point of the first half?
Yeah.
Note got a layup with near the end of the first half, the final few seconds, I think, and then I literally don't think Arkansas ever gave up the lead in the second half. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
that's something. I'm trying to keep up with it. Like, I want to get some of your guys' discussions here, but I know there's a lot of referee discussion. Jordan asked what we think about Duke and Texas Tech. Honestly, Jordan, I picked Texas Tech in my bracket. I love the way they play defense. But it should be a good game. I think, it's going to be hard to top Gonzaga and Arkansas. I know that wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but that felt like a game to me. Just possessions were so important. But yeah, I may go Texas Tech. We'll see if that turns out to be right. But Yeah, man, this was is wild. Um, I mean, again, I think that, like we said, and I know we've gotten past it at this point, but like there were not a lot of people, Chris, and we probably said it at one time, and I will admit to saying this. I said, hey, if you don't basically do what Arkansas did this game, like the Gonzaga's the kind of team, as I said, that can change a game in a hurry when it comes to those big runs. And that's like we mentioned, they never got that in this game. And quite frankly, like there came a point where I just, I'm sitting back thinking, is this run going to happen? Is it going to happen? And it did not. And again, something else I wanted to bring up, and I forgot about this until now. The 50-50 balls in this game.
Yeah.
Like you saw some of those where maybe like Gonzaga would come down with a rebound, have an opportunity, but it's like you'd see a hand coming in to swipe it away. And I think that was a big part of this too, is Arkansas, and that's again, that's where you talk about like the way Eric Musselman's teams play, that effort, that hustle, like you're going to get that from this guys all the time. Even if they're not hitting shots, even in some of the games they lost this year, you're still going to get that. And the defensive turnaround, remember, this is the discussion we've had for a couple months now. When they started to have that turnaround, it was all fueled on the defensive side. Because we remember, I think you and I went back and looked at that.
They almost from memory, I want to say they gave up about 80 points a game.
Yeah,
the first 3 SEC games.
Yeah.
They start. I think they start conference play by losing a home game to Vandy.
Mississippi State, they lost that one. So I'm looking it up here.
And that was in Starkville, where State didn't lose much all year. And then who was the third?
81 points to Mississippi State, 75 to Vanderbilt, 86 to A&M.
And then came the game where they just beat the living daylights out of Missouri and gave up 43 points.
Yeah, 87-43. But that's
from that day on, it was completely different.
Yeah. Well, and go back because like December 11th, you give up 88 to Oklahoma, 89 to Hofstra in that game that I think really surprised everyone. That was the one where everyone's like, like what's going on here? But now, again, the defense is what has changed more than anything. So it's just, By the way, Texas Tech's up 10-2 on Duke early. So that's something to think about.
Who do you want, Arkansas? Would you rather have Duke or Tech? I'm interested to see what people say in the chat. And somebody asked who the better matchup is. Blake, you saw those teams play a lot more than I did. I saw both of them a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you this. Texas Tech is not a team I think anyone wants to play just because of how they play defense. Like you talk about now that game, if it's Arkansas and Texas Tech, that will be you got two teams that are physical. They're going to defend like that.
That might be game of the tournament stuff.
That could be something. It's not may not be entertaining from an offensive standpoint, but Hey, thanks, Ben. I appreciate that. We appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I enjoyed. I don't remember who I talked to this morning. It's kind of been a whirlwind on the radio front this week, but yeah, I always enjoy talking to the fine folks in Fayetteville and in that area. So, always enjoy those guys. So, Hey, Chris, you looking at the chat? Everyone wants Duke. They want the 94 rematch,
they do.
Baby.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, hey, this is the first time the Hogs have gotten back-to-back Elite Eight since 94-95, right? So a little bit of
was the last Final Four for them 95? I think it was.
Right? Yeah, I don't remember anything beyond that.
They got to a Sweet 16 a few years after that, and then they hit a patch of mediocrity longer than Arkansas basketball should have. And
everyone wants to end Coach K's career, right? So
yeah, that's probably got something to do with it. But
but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But yeah, that's something. So, oh boy,
Hogs darn near went back to back. What was it? 94, 95?
What was that?
Because 93 was Carolina beating
UCLA,
Michigan.
I got to look it up. I know. Sorry, Arkansas fans. We should know this, but it all runs together at this point. Let me look it up while we're gonna go. I know you guys know this off the top of your head, but we want to go back and So they won it 94, lost in 95. That would have been to was that the? Oh gosh, I'm not even looking at the chat right now. Somebody's saying it. No, it's UCLA. That's what I was thinking.
UCLA. Was that Tyus Edney?
That was Ed O'Bannon and all those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Ed O'Bannon teams. Yeah, you guys got it. Yeah, that was it. So,
man, that you talk about fun to watch. Those teams were lit.
I listen. Sorry, Arkansas fans, but like I loved that UCLA team. Like, they were just so fun to watch. But so was Arkansas. Like, that's what
Oh
made it
my
such
God.
a great
Corliss Williamson and Todd
man.
Day and
Yeah,
Lee
yeah, all those
Mayberry and
guys, man. So yeah, it was a wild game. I do remember that now. Like, it's showing my age here, but yeah, I remember that.
was
So
that the year Tyus Edney went baseline to baseline to keep them from losing in the first
what was?
round?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what year was there? Not what year. Who was that against?
Was it Missouri?
Was that Missouri?
I
It may
think
have
it
been
was.
Missouri. I think that may have been right.
Yeah.
So, hey, by the way, sorry, I'm looking at this. I think it says Darian. Sorry if I'm not reading this right. My eyes are kind of looking. I can't see anything at this point in the night. But asks, how do I donate monthly to Southeastern 14? How about this? We may have an option for you soon to do that. So if anyone else wants to jump on board there, we are certainly not going to be against it.
Or if you have a business that needs advertising,
give them an email.
We're looking
Chris.
for partners too. Email, was it chris.lee@southeastern14.com?
Darian,
that's it.
chris.lee@southeastern14.com.
You love the way I took that one and not you.
No, it's we listen, guys. We may actually. I know there's a lot of people in here that support the channel, but we have been looking into some different things.
Yeah.
Some monthly.
We
type
have
stuff,
we have some plans. We just need
some time,
people to execute them within some time. So
we may have some extra stuff coming to YouTube here soon for anyone who wants to have a little bit of extra something outside of just our free stuff that we do. So keep that in the back of your minds there. We may use that in the playbook at some point. So speaking of the playbook, Muss's playbook was great tonight. Have I said that already?
Man.
So I just, man, I can't.
The funniest part was Muss is going crazy after the game, and then he realizes he's got to go shake hands with Mark Few, and you could just see him, like, you could see the minute on his face where it occurred to him, and like he tried to, like you were in class,
yeah,
and like you can't laugh, or you're in church or something, and like something really funny happens, and like the harder you're trying not to laugh, the harder it becomes. Muss had one of those looks on his face where he's partying like a 5-year-old kid, and then he's got, I got to go shake Mark Few's hand. So he's like walking to the handshake line, and he's like doing one of those.
Hey, don't let me forget this Muss. Don't let me forget to tell a Muss story. But real quickly, we got a.
I know the one because it involves you, doesn't it?
Yeah, don't let me forget to tell the Muss story. So real quickly, there's a big row of chats here I want to get to. Josh says the super chat and Patreon. So Josh, we are going to turn the super chats on here very soon. So we'll have those. But there's also, like, YouTube does its own version of the Patreon now, so we're thinking about using that as well. So just keep that in mind. We are going to do some of those things. Also, BMD number 1, Chris, you need to move that Razorback banner in the top row.
Hey guys, let me just let you see what I got going on here, and you can very quickly.
He wants to put it on top. He's going to be on the top row. Sorry, Chris, not going to work on the bottom anymore. It needs to be at the top. Do you
see two patterns here?
By the way, Ryan says he loves the baseball content. Ryan, more baseball content.
Ryan, there's a lot of base. If the Hogs would just lose, there'd be a whole lot more coming. But the baseball fans of our channel hate you tonight because now we're talking basketball. I do have baseball on the TV. Watching a little Vandy, Carolina.
Let's see. Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right. Sorry. I don't know what we're trying to control the trolling here, guys, but I do the best I can on this. So we got a lot of stuff coming through. So Country Boy, we appreciate that. We're gonna get to the Muss story in a second. Daniel, do we do football as well? Yes, we will do more football. Yeah. That'll be coming soon. So Daniel, just so you know, we try to hit the ones primarily that, like basketball and baseball, there's just not a lot of coverage
we talk
out there,
about what is going on, and the reason we started this is Blake is. I mean, we're both baseball and basketball fans. Baseball is more my thing. I'm a huge SEC baseball guy, and I love basketball too. Don't get me wrong, but that's my passion. Blake is a huge SEC basketball guy who loves baseball too, but basketball is his passion. Blake and I have known each other for years. Always had him on my list. I decided to start this about 1.5 years ago, And Blake was my first call because I knew he'd be just what you see what this guy is. But we started this.
You see. Whew.
Yeah, you see.
Oof.
We started this with the aim of we want to cover the SEC and the three major sports, but we really feel like basketball and baseball on a league-wide level are undercovered. Like if you want your Arkansas stuff or your Kentucky, there's places to go, but to keep up with it all in one spot is not easy, and that's what we're about. And right now it's mostly a two-man show, so there's only so much we can get to. But I mean, in fact, we'd love to do women's sports and some other things too, but we're basically 13 and a half months old at this point. So we're going to get there one day, but this is kind of who we are and why we are around. And yeah, we do football too, but we mostly spend our time. In fact, I was on a show the other day and somebody asked me about a transfer quarterback. I was like, I got to be honest. I'm all my bandwidth is going towards basketball, and what's left is going to baseball.
Dilly-dally, yes, we do cover football, but we just haven't gotten to it yet. Like, again, we're basically a two-man show here at this point in the calendar year. So we have two other guys that have helped us with football. You can go back and see all our football videos we did this past season. So, yes, we'll have more football stuff coming. We just don't. We have to do what's in front of us right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for partners. You know, the more that we can get support that way. I've got people in mind that I would love to have join our team and things like that. So it's just growing it and every bit of support, like it's just showing up, telling friends, all those things have done a ton to help us.
All right, Blaze, we're gonna get to it. Yes, we can tell you how Audi's Tony is the best. Because yes, I mean, hey, we said, what was that? You guys will know this. By the way, do not let me forget this Muss story. Some of you may have heard it, but if you haven't, this is going to be too good to pass up. Yes, we talked about Tony. What was the game he missed? Was that the Tennessee game he didn't play in the regular season?
Sounds about right.
We talked about how important he is to this team, and you guys see this. I mean, you know, and yeah, I mean, the defending wise, like he is like elite. Someone said it. Michael, I think, said it. He is an elite defender. There's no question about it. So yeah, I mean, he is very, very good on the defensive side, no question, and he deserves a lot of credit. Like we said, this was not just you guys know Jalen Williams is my guy, and I saw a lot of slander on the Twitter about him, but I wasn't going to allow that because he's my guy. And again, Williams, Note, this was a team effort. Like it was, everyone contributed in different ways in this game. And I think that was what you had to do to beat Gonzaga. And we said that. I mean, that was the only way this was going to work. If you had Note on the bench for an extended amount of time, if you had Williams on the bench for an extended amount of time, it just wasn't going to work. And yet everything just kind of seemed to fall the way that Arkansas needed it to. And it was the game plan. I think the game plan was just perfection, like it really was. So yeah, I mean, it was an impressive performance without question. So,
a couple people in the chat have asked, what can I do to be a partner? If you do have a business or a cause that you'd like some exposure, again, email me, chris.lee at southeastern14.com. I'm pretty sure I'm getting the yips when I'm asked to remember our email. I'm going to look this up to make sure.
If not, our Twitter accounts are right there on the screen. So
Twitter messaging works too.
You can always message on Twitter if you need to. So,
that's right. Chris.Lee at southeastern14.com.
Yeah, everybody. Trey Wade, yes, big game. We talked about him earlier. Yeah, he had a huge game. Very important. I mean, just again, like we said, it's his best game. I don't know, it's just fantastic. He was great. I know somebody said Amude kind of had a quiet night, but you know, he hit a couple shots there. That one was just smooth as can be. What was the one he hit? He took a baseline.
Here's something that's going to go unnoticed. Amude and Tony were not huge tonight, but they were combined 7 of 12 from the floor. Get between them, 9 boards. Not a lot on the assist category. I think 1, but they didn't turn it over but once. I mean, we've said it for a while. It's just this team every night, you've got so many guys who can contribute. Sometimes it's not going to be Note's best. Sometimes Amude's going to pop up and score 25. Sometimes he won't do as much, but They've just been so good as a team that they figure it out.
Yeah. I think that's what it comes down to is just, I mean, it is like, again, total team effort. I don't think there's any doubt about Steve calling you out for the yips. Chris getting the yips. Got the yips.
It's
Blaze
twice
asked,
tonight.
Blaze wants to know, should there be a worry that Arkansas will be tired for Saturday's game due to playing a high amount of minutes with our main guys? I don't think so, Blaze.
It's been the case all year.
It's been the case all year at this point, and it's been even more so down the stretch. So I don't think so. I really don't. Now, if you play a team like Texas Tech, that's going to be a grind physically. If you're watching Texas Tech right now, look how active they are on defense. Like this is not to discount anyone else because again, Arkansas defensively have not brought it, but like this team is just like they are so active, and it is just one of those where you got to give credit where it's due. They play some defense, so yeah, that could be an interesting one. Let me see what else I need to catch here in the chat. Yeah, I mean, Muss, you got to give him credit. That was a hell of a job preparation-wise.
Some stuff has come up about Musselman's contract. What kind of deal has he got?
Did he not get an extension last year after the run they made?
If he hasn't gotten one, then I'd be shocked.
Guys, he's not going anywhere.
Who got one? Oh, Rick Barnes got one today. Did you see that?
Yeah, Musselman did. Yeah, he got a Barnes, I think till like 26, 27. Yeah, Musselman signed a new contract after last year. Yeah, April 14th, something like that. So yeah, it runs through. Hold on, let me just find it real quick. Someone knows this, I know you do, but let me just find the numbers here.
By the way, Ari, we were right on the 94-95, where they almost went back to back. One at 94, runner-ups in 95.
April 30th, 2026. I think that's what the extension goes through. So. Yeah. All right, Muss story. Forgot. Okay, some of you guys have heard the Muss story before, but if you haven't, this is
worth the wait that you have been subjected to.
I'll try to make it good. So
I don't think you have to try. You just have to tell it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Nevada. When Muss was at Nevada, that was 17 or 18 when they made the run, I think. So whatever year that was. Okay. They play their first round games in Nashville, and they play Cincinnati and Texas. I think Texas was round 1, Cincinnati was round 2, and I think Cincinnati was
a 1 or a 2.
I think they were the 2 seed, and I want to say Nevada was the 7 or the 10. All right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be right.
So both those games, they set NCAA tournament records for comebacks or something like that, some kind of rally. So they come back and beat Cincinnati, okay? And they make the rally, and you guys know Muss. Like, Muss is, locker room after the first game, shirt off, like he's thrilled. So they go into the second game. They do basically the same script against Cincinnati. They make another huge comeback. They win the game. So after the game, I'm sitting there in the front row on the media row here. I've got my computer sitting right in front of me. I'm doing my typing. I'm trying to really stay on track here, probably tweeting something intelligent. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see all the players going like towards the baseline. So they're all over there with the cheerleaders and like the fans and everything. Everybody's going crazy. And then out of the other corner of my eye, I see someone running towards me. And I'm thinking, all right, well, this is just someone coming over. The fans behind me, like, great, right? And then I look up, folks, and all of a sudden, I am face to face with not the Muss bus, but the Muss nuts, basically. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Eric Musselman.
I was wondering how you're going to describe that, but that didn't leave much to the imagination.
Eric Musselman has jumped up on my table in front of me. He is basically towing my laptop, and he has, I don't know if the shirt, I don't remember. I don't think the shirt was off at that point, but I am face to face with, again, not the Muss bus, but the Muss something else. And
the lower half of the Muss bus.
Muss is just having a time, man. And I am laughing as hard as can be. So that's kind of the Muss story. It's just out of nowhere. I look up, Muss is on the table, on the media table, and we are getting very acquainted very quickly.
You didn't even know him at that point, did you?
I talked to him a few times, but I didn't know him probably the way obviously I know him a little bit better now.
He accelerated that relationship quickly.
He accelerated it quickly. So, No, that was so funny though, because I mean, look, the emotion is there. So Darren wants to know. Sorry, quickly. He does have a business. Wants to know if it's tax deductible.
Yeah,
If he
it's
reaches out.
advertising. Sure.
There you go.
You bet.
So Darren, reach out. Chris,
And we're not
Lee.
look, if we don't think it's a fit, we're not out just to take money to
it's-
take money, but we can certainly talk.
Yeah. Well, just reach out. That's all you got to do, and we'll go from there. So there, you guys having fun with the story? Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't think Eric Musselman's
country
gonna
boy.
remember that, but for me, it's hard not to remember that. So.
When that happens, it's sort of hard to forget.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I just it's not something I think about every day, but yeah, it happened. So it is what it is. But oh boy, that's leading.
If he ever comes on this podcast and
has
has a bag of corn nuts,
I've
then
reminded
we will
him
have
one time
made it.
already. When we had him on our national podcast, I did. I reminded him about it already. So he probably doesn't remember because he's probably done it so many times since that there's probably someone else that has been in that same situation, caught by the enthusiastic must bus. So yeah, there you go.
I'm glad we can still have fun with sports.
Oh yeah. Well, it's more fun when you win too. So
well, yeah. I mean,
that helps.
There's that.
Yeah. So there you go. But oh my. So yeah, guys. I mean, I know this is mostly an Arkansas crowd. You guys, man.
Hey, it's your moment.
You earned it. So listen, you're a win away from the Final Four, and you just beat the top seed in the tournament. So,
and by the way, if they get there, there's nothing easy about that path. I mean, I guess you could say, okay, they got New Mexico State instead of Connecticut, but that's a really good team too with the superstar. Yeah, I mean, whatever happens from here, they have had a phenomenal year. It's been an unforgettable ride.
Yeah.
What have they lost? Twice? 3 times since the 0-3 start in the league? The last few weeks have run together.
William, I don't think we can. Maybe. All right, we got a new idea for a shirt. Are you ready?
Oh, no.
William just gave it to us.
Yes.
Woo Nut Suey. I don't know if we can use that one, William. Are we allowed to trademark that? That may be a shirt someday.
Yeah, that might be a little on the gross side.
I think the Woo and Suey may not. I don't know if we can use that, but yeah, John. What's up, John? Yeah, what a game, huh? Wild stuff. So, boy, there's a lot of ball talk going on in the chat. It's not basketball related, so sorry I took that off course here, but I want to be truthful. I want to be full transparency is what we like to do here at the 14.
Do you remember when we did our Seinfeld thing, who we made Arkansas?
Yeah, by the way, yeah, if you didn't catch our Seinfeld episode,
I still crack up over
Jackie
that
Childs.
one. Jackie Childs.
Childs.
It's so perfect. I mean, just a little edge, a little cockiness.
Yeah, there you go. DMAC, this Blake character not rubbing you the right way. Well, sorry. We were just telling a story. Yeah, this is what we do. We try to be entertaining, so apologize if it's not rubbing you the right way.
We're not everybody's cup of tea. That's fine.
We are not, and yeah, just telling a story. So there you go. Boy, I mean, again, if you're just jumping in the chat right now, guys, we've been on here 43 minutes. We've talked about the game quite a bit at this point. So any analysis you want, just Henry, we slept on Arkansas. All right. Appreciate it, Henry.
That's fine.
Yep. We did. We slept on them. We took Arkansas +9, but
so did the people who own the
agree.
casinos and all those things. But
Henry, we're not your fans. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. We are unbiased SEC people who cover the SEC. So we're not an Arkansas fan. We're not
flawless. Channel. We have fun with it.
We have fun with this. We're having fun with Arkansas fans right now.
Arkansas fans have been great for our channel, and we are here to let them have their moment. And hopefully this will not be their last moment.
Sorry. If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to be here. Like, you really don't.
Right.
So, yeah, I have nothing against any of you guys, even the ones that comment and don't like us. Like, we're
glad you're here.
It's fine. Like, we appreciate everybody gets to say what they want, but yeah, don't push something that's not true. So that's all I got. Blaze, I I don't know what to tell you about my teeth, man. I brush daily. That's all I can tell you. So I, I don't know, man.
Oh boy.
I don't have any more than that. So yeah, sorry, but yeah. So there you go. It's just wild. So oh boy. What else? I mean, again, we've covered everything from the game. So if we're just we're spitballing at this point, guys. So
Yeah.
let's
Again,
see.
and we probably need to go in a minute so we can watch some Duke and Tech. If we're gonna size that one up.
We'll hop off here in just a second. Yeah. Everybody's having some fun here, so we're gonna let them keep having fun. What else we got? Sorry, I know that I missed a couple comments. I'm going to try to scroll up and catch them. But
Arkansas's Country Boy says Arkansas is the first team in NCAA history to beat the number 1 team in the country during the regular season and the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. That's crazy. You would have thought that happened by now.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean it's something, man. So it's wild. So I mean, again, like we said, it was going to take what it took, and boy, they did it. I mean, they did. So give them credit. Yeah, I mean, again, like I know some of you guys are saying, it's just, yeah, I mean, again, there were not a lot of people picking Arkansas to win this game. It's just, I mean, Gonzaga's the number 1 seed in the tournament, and they were, the national championship pick yet again for a lot of people. And look, this was not a bad Gonzaga team, and I think that's how, for some reason, people may try to spin it that way. And we said we thought they were beatable, but let's not act like this wasn't a good team that Arkansas
Ken
just
Pomeroy,
beat.
who does a tremendous job, has developed the analytic model that everybody looks up to, had Arkansas as the best team in the country by 5 points over whoever was number 2 today, which I forget.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something.
Was it Houston? Houston number 2 team, maybe?
Might be.
Let's see. What was the question? Someone asked about Anthony Black, I think. I don't know the answer to that because, I mean, I think that stuff it's hard to call on that one probably. So don't know, Jordan. It's a great question. I can't answer that and know for sure. So obviously you guys would love to have him, a guy like that. Boy, he's a player, which I'm sure Arkansas fans are well aware of. But yeah, I'm curious to see, but I don't know if that sways anything or swings anything. I don't know. So let's see what else we got. Yeah, I mean, look, we appreciate all you guys saying that. Like the comments. We're not. You guys understand. You see our replies and comments and stuff, the ones we're able to get to, and again, everybody has the right to say what they want. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like us. Again, it's fine. We're not going to tell you what to think.
No, and if we're wrong, we'll take the criticism too.
Yes,
that's fine. Or if we can get better, we'll take that. It's no big deal. But honestly, you know what I've loved? It's just the community's been really cool. You see some of the same people commenting on video to video. One of these days, we're going to have an in-person event, and I think, if nothing else, we're going to do something when the SEC tournament's in our backyard next year.
Yeah,
and I hope a lot of you guys can be there.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Again, Josh, everyone else. Who else? Let's see. Josh, Nate, we appreciate it. Eric, all you guys, we do appreciate it. So, let's see.
While we're at it, the Hogs got a big series at Missouri this weekend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they do. So
starting tomorrow night. Missouri's a little better than I expected. Arkansas's pitching's been really good. I was concerned after Peyton Pallette went down that didn't know what they were going to get. Nolan's been good. Jack Squiggins has been fine. Hagen Smith has been fine. He'll get better.
Yeah.
They got some arms. Vermillion's been really good out of that pen this year. Y'all got a lot to look forward to right now.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot of baseball. Like I said, Chris and William will be back on with us. Be a lot of baseball stuff coming. Uncle Phil, Blake favors Eminem. But let me say this, Uncle Phil. Can you get me Eminem's paychecks? Because I mean, I'd like those.
No,
too,
that's not even the wrong musician. I mean, we've already decided you're Barry
Who
Gibb.
was it? Yeah. By the way, a lot of people they tell me that was the Barry Gibb stuff. It's funny, but
And
hey,
Kenny
listen,
Loggins was the other one.
Loggins was the other one. Uncle Phil, if you can get me M&M's paychecks, I would love that. So if you have that going, you would be the goat like of all time. Like,
That's a first, Eminem.
Would love it. Would love it. So I would greatly appreciate that. All right. Well, yeah, you're talking about Jordan Black, guys. Yeah, I think was it 28th? Yeah, some of you guys said that. Yeah, he announced his 28th. So I appreciate it, Uncle Phil. By the way, you have a great username, Uncle Phil. He was the best. So
Blaze Moore said Connor Nolan was his high school locker room neighbor. That's awesome.
There you go. Look at this. We got baseball coming in. So
Connor stepped it up, man. He's number one starter.
Yeah.
A lot better since a year ago.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to watch the rest of Texas Tech and Duke. And there's another game going on. Why can't I think of it? Arizona and Houston?
Yeah, Michigan. And let's see, Villanova's beating Michigan, right?
They beat Michigan.
I didn't see a second of that.
And then, Arizona, Houston in progress. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Two really good games.
Guys, I picked Arizona in my bracket, but I told somebody today, I said the upset of the night could be Houston, Arizona.
That'll be a dandy.
We'll see if it happens. But all right, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Billy, appreciate it. Yes, we appreciate all you guys and enjoy it. Flying Blind is out there somewhere right now, shirtless.
Flying Blind, we're gonna need pics.
He's loving life right now. So there you go. All right, guys. Appreciate it. We'll cut it off here. We'll be back tomorrow with more insight probably on this game. And enjoy it. So
thanks, guys. Have a great night.